Strike on coordinates 45.237. How Ukraine blinded Russia's radar eye in the Black Sea. The Ukrainian coast of the Black Sea near Odesa, May 19, 2025, 8:30 a.m. local time. A long-awaited command breaks the radio silence. We're live. Hidden in a carefully camouflaged shelter, an SBU officer opens a laptop. Lines of code flash across the screen. The drone's digital brain is preparing for the mission. Within seconds, a green line appears. System check complete. A man's hand presses a key. 100 meters away, amid the reeds along the shoreline, there's a muffled pop. The launch mechanism fires. From the dense overgrowth, the drone bursts into the air. It dips forward slightly, losing altitude, but quickly stabilizes as its engine buzzes to life, spinning the propeller. With its 13-foot wingspan fully extended, the drone climbs and locks onto a southern course, headed straight toward the horizon, where the waters of the Black Sea stretch beyond view. Another SBU operation has begun. For now, we'll call its target simply this: 45.237 degrees north, 30.810 degrees east. Since February 2022, the Black Sea has become a battlefield between Ukrainian and Russian forces. Despite Russia's seemingly overwhelming advantage at sea, Ukraine has forced its own game on the enemy, asymmetric, unconventional, and unexpectedly effective. At the heart of this strategy are unmanned surface vehicles, naval drones ranging from 16 to 20 feet in length, packed with hundreds of pounds of explosives. These vessels are remotely controlled via Starlink satellite communication, enabling operators to guide them with pinpoint precision, even dozens of miles offshore. Speed, stealth, and the surprise factor have made these drones one of the most serious threats to the Russian fleet, targeting both warships and infrastructure on seized oil rigs. In response, Russia has deployed fighter jets and attack helicopters to hunt down Ukrainian sea drones. A crucial component of this defense effort is radar, systems that detect incoming drones and direct aircraft to intercept them. Several such radars have been installed by Russian forces on what are known as the Boyco towers. These are Ukrainian offshore drilling platforms in the Black Sea, seized by Russia in 2014 to 2015. The term Boyco Towers is an unofficial, ironic nickname that originated in Ukrainian media tied to a corruption scandal surrounding their acquisition. Back in 2011, Ukraine's state company Kornomornaftogaz purchased 2 floating rigs through offshore intermediaries with prices grossly inflated, roughly double their market value. At the time, the Minister of Energy and Coal Industry under President Yanukovych was Yuri Boyko, who later became Deputy Prime Minister. One of those rigs, named Tavrida, or often referred to in Russian documents as Boyco Tower Alpha, had a radar system called Neva mounted on it, which proved particularly troublesome for Ukrainian forces. Just 45 miles off the coast of Odesa, it monitored virtually all naval activity near the city. Yes, this was the same platform located at the coordinates mentioned at the beginning: 45.237 degrees north, 30.810 degrees east. And the Ukrainian drone was heading straight for it. Now let's talk briefly about the UJ-22 airborne drone, one of the central figures in this mission. Built by the Ukrainian company Ukhrjet, the UJ-22 at first glance resembles a light reconnaissance aircraft. It has a wingspan of roughly 4.5 meters, weighs up to 100 kilograms, and runs on a gasoline engine with a pusher propeller. This is a tactical UAV with a maximum range of about 1,000 kilometers or 620 miles and the ability to carry a payload of up to 20 kilograms or 45 pounds. Navigation is managed through a combination of satellite and inertial systems, while control is maintained remotely via a ground station. The drone can follow a fully autonomous route, but if needed, the operator can manually take over and guide it to the target by hand. Its main advantage lies in its independence from airstrips. The UJ-22 launches from a catapult, just like it did that May morning near the Odesa coastline. Its warhead is not meant to destroy buildings, but rather to disable specific systems: antennas, transmitters, radar equipment. That was the objective for the SBU operator on this day: to blind a critical Russian radar site in the Black Sea by precisely striking the Neva radar system mounted on the Boyco Tower Alpha platform. The UJ-22 climbed to an altitude of 150 meters, or roughly 500 feet, and entered its programmed route. On the operator's screen, only telemetry. No sound, no dramatic visuals, just data, heading, speed, altitude, bank angle. The drone followed its waypoints with surgical precision. The autopilot constantly monitored for deviations and corrected them instantly. To avoid early detection, the flight was kept at a low altitude, below 200 meters or 650 feet, under the line of sight of coastal radars. But at that height, every gust of wind posed a potential risk. The UJ-22 held steady. 50 minutes into the flight, the drone was now just 10 kilometers or 6 miles from the target. At this point, the SBU operator switched to manual control. He was now flying the drone directly, using its onboard camera to observe the platform ahead. The silhouette came into view on the horizon, a 30-meter steel structure known as Boyco Tower Alpha. From a distance, it looked like a bare metal frame, but the operator knew what was on top: a rotating antenna with a detection radius of 45 kilometers or 28 miles. It was feeding Ukrainian drone coordinates directly to Russian helicopters. That was the component that had to be eliminated. Everything appeared calm on the platform. The Ukrainian drone was still undetected. The UJ-22 approached from the northwest. At a distance of 500 meters, about 1,650 feet, the drone entered a dive toward the target. Its speed was around 160 kilometers per hour, or roughly 100 miles per hour. Altitude 80 meters, or 260 feet. The target was now clearly visible on screen, a white and gray radar block mounted on the upper deck. From this moment, the operator had less than 20 seconds to guide the drone with precision. He selected the point of impact, the joint between the antenna and the electronic control module. That's where the cable system runs, coordinating rotation and data transmission. A strike at that spot would ensure a total shutdown. Movement begins on the platform. One of the soldiers looks up. Maybe he heard the engine, then another, and a third. Someone gives a signal, a shout follows, but it's too late. The drone is already within 100 meters, 2 seconds from impact. 9:20, explosion. The drone slams into its target. The camera cuts out. A flash and shock wave ripple across the platform. Metal, cables, and radar cladding are blown apart. The rotating antenna is reduced to twisted wreckage. The electronic module is breached and powered down. The Neva radar, which had been monitoring everything within a 45-kilometer radius, no longer exists. The platform is blind and defenseless. Unfortunately for the Russian personnel on that tower, the destruction of the radar was only the first stage of the operation. None of them knew the second phase was already underway, and they had just 1 hour to live. That's how long it would take for Ukraine's Sea Baby naval drone to cover the 80 kilometers or 50 miles separating it from Boyco Tower Alpha. Sea Baby is an unmanned surface vessel about 6 meters or 20 feet long. It bears no insignia, no flag, no number, just a low gray hull sliding over the waves, almost indistinguishable from the water's surface. Nearly invisible. Inside, nearly a ton of explosives. It moves silently along a preset course, transmitting no signals, leaving no trace on the airwaves. The sea is calm, silent. Somewhere in the distance, seagulls cry. Everything seems still. But beneath this peace, death is racing forward at 45 knots, 80 kilometers per hour or 50 miles per hour. The drone is guided via satellite. Operators monitor the live feed from the bow camera and adjust the course in real time. But after the radar strike, the platform can no longer see it. Its eyes are gone. 10:15 local time. Through the drone's onboard camera, the drilling rig comes into clear view. Smoke still rising from the earlier explosion. Sea Baby is now on final approach. Everything is proceeding according to plan. The target, the support joints where the platform's load-bearing pilings connect to the deck and lower technical modules. A strike there could cause the collapse of the entire upper structure, including living quarters and equipment. Activity resumes on the platform. People are moving, running. Someone reaches for a weapon, but the drone's now under 2 minutes away. It's too small, too low, too fast. Hitting it with an assault rifle or even a heavy machine gun is nearly impossible. 10:20. Another explosion rips through the platform, and this time, rips is no exaggeration. The blast, almost a ton of TNT shaped into directional charges, shears through the steel supports, tearing them from the foundation. For a brief moment, the structure seems to freeze. Then it begins to collapse. The living module drops first. It doesn't explode, it simply gives way. Its support's gone. One support section folds, dragging the rest down with it. The platform, which had stood for decades over the Black Sea, begins to fall into itself. A chain of secondary explosions from ignited fuel and munitions intensifies the destruction. Fire spreads into storage areas, completing the chaos. 10:25. The platform is nearly gone. Only twisted pilings remain above water. Everything that had been on the upper deck, antennas, masts, containers, living quarters, cable lines, either collapsed into the sea or burned. A column of smoke rises over a kilometer into the sky. Everyone on Boyco Tower Alpha is dead. 2 drones, one costing less than $500, the other around $10,000, the price of a used car, destroyed a Russian military asset worth no less than $100 million, including the rig itself, its equipment, and military systems valued in the tens of millions. The destruction of the Neva radar on Boyco Tower Alpha not only blinded Russia in the northwestern Black Sea, but also opened a corridor for future strikes by Ukrainian naval drones against rear infrastructure in Crimea and along the Krasnodar coast. The war between Russia and Ukraine goes on. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, feel free to like and subscribe to our channel. See you soon.